Okay, this second is our second demo on foreshortening and the figure. To the right is an image I took where I'm trying to force the foreshortening. So I'd like you guys to take an image of yourselves or somebody else. It's actually easier to take it of someone else and try to create a fairly exaggerated foreshortened figure. It'll be much easier if it's a little bit more exaggerated, I think. Try to limit some of the visual information behind you just to simplify and make your life a little bit easier. So to the right, I did a quick just breakdown of the starting point at which you'll see on the left. So like all of our figures, we're going to find our axis so that we're maintaining our left to right symmetry. I've noticed some people sort of drifting in their features a little. What I mean is they'll start an eye and then the next eye will drift slightly upwards to the right and the nose will drift slightly upwards to the right in the ear. This occurs when you don't start with an axis. The axis is this point at which you'll keep your features in check with symmetry. So you're always checking your left to right as you move, okay? I think that's going to help you a little. Now, when we're starting, we will, let me go ahead and let this run a little. We are going to start with our basic form. So we're going to have, generally speaking, the head, the neck. We're going to draw the shoulders through the head, you guys. That's going to connect your two shoulders. And it's also going to help you probably with that scale change on the shoulders. At least in my image, the shoulder in the back is slightly smaller than the shoulder in the front. And being able to loop them through the neck was really useful to keep them aligned. But do notice like everything that's coming towards us is getting much bigger. So I've drawn through the shoulders, the neck is sitting inside the clavicle in the shoulders, and then the egg-like sphere of the head. And I'm going to establish whatever is in the figure behind before the hand. Your inclination is going to start with the object that's coming at you, and I think that it's easier to start from behind because once I find where my eye is, I can then locate the thumb. And I purposely took this picture with my finger, my thumb overlapping my face as a point at which you can find scale. So because they're crossing each other, you know exactly where they lie. There's no misunderstanding with where the relationship of the hand to the face is. So as hard as it is to take a picture of your hand blocking part of your face, or a foot, whatever body part you're using, it's going to make it much easier, I think, to locate things. So this is a key point for me in this drawing. Once again, I'm starting with the blue. Get it back. Because the blue is a lighter value, and I'm capable of getting on top of this a little bit better than starting with a pencil that's a little too dark. So here I've established the eyes. So I found where the eyes are going to occur, basic features. Mainly I needed the eyes so that I knew where the thumb was going to be. Once I had that, remember with hands, don't worry about all this interior information initially, just get that silhouette. Notice my two fingers merge in the middle. What I'm really interested in is that shape. Now you're also going to want to break things down. So I broke things down to the pads. So there's this pad, and then there's pads beneath each of our fingers. This pad connects to the thumb joint, and then the individual fingers, and then the break right here to your palm to the wrist is really important. That's going to put that in front of the wrist. Let it go forward. So one of the tricks to foreshortening is drawing the actual cone or cylinder with its top ellipse. Right here beneath this arm, I don't know if you could see, but I did initially draw that whole ellipse where the sleeve ended so that I knew where the arm was going to go. Even though I'm drawing over most of this arm, it's still really important to know where that was. So sometimes drawing the tops of the cylinders as if it was a bottle or a cup might really help you. Maybe in the neck zone, the wrists, the shoulders meeting the arms. I even do it beneath a rib cage sometimes if I need it. Okay, I'm establishing the blue everywhere before heading into the pencil. Do not move from your light colored pencil until you know exactly where all your forms are. The value might help you see things better, so it's okay. Go ahead and use it for some value, but you don't want to leave this stage until you understand everything about the anatomy. Moving after this point is all about value, hard edge versus soft edge, and detail, but it is no longer about placement or overlapping, getting the scale changes right. Do all of that in the blue because it's easy to hide any mistakes without ever having to erase. I don't know if you've noticed, but I never use an eraser, and that's because I do this method of using light colored pencils moving into a darker pencil to a black. If you do that, you never have to erase. You just kind of rework and rework. You move quicker, you move faster. Um, I think it's a great way to work. So here I start picking up like a 2B. And at this point, I'm only dealing with midtones basically and some of the darks. And I'm really establishing the high contrast hard edge value in the hand. And anytime I go back here behind the thumb, I tend to kind of create that value as kind of uniform. So I'll go in with my pencil and sort of tone the whole face back behind the thumb in a soft manner so that those edges don't compete with the edge of the thumb that I want to come in front. So if you do have a body part that feels like it's not coming in front enough, put the hard edge on it and soften and diminish the detail of the object behind. So sort of blur out the face behind the hand, let's say. So now I'm starting to move to my dark black pencil. Okay. And then that's it. So I could probably take this to another layer in terms of value. Even a micron or a Sharpie could be really nice on top of this to get some of the edge of the hand coming in front of the face a little bit more. But this gives you kind of a sense of how to get the objects placed, how to draw volumes on top of volumes, and how to really exaggerate edge in order to establish something in the foreground versus the background. Okay, I hope that helped.